Good evening, friends. The main reason for this particular interlude of information has to do with the current intake of certain herbal preparation for the shrinking of fibroids. Many of such preparations are out there in the market, and people have been branded with various names and being pushed to the people. But we have been able to ascertain and confirm that these herbal preparations are actually deleterious to the recipients. Now, fibroid, we all know, is a smooth muscle tumor of the uterus. There is hardly any uterus that doesn't have a little bit of fibroids in it. But the thing is that due to certain hormonal interjections, fibroid could grow in the womb to enormous sizes. Now, talking about fibroids, there are different types of fibroids. You have the submucous fibroid, which is the one that grows in the endometrial cavity of the uterus, or the internal lining, or the innermost lining of the uterus. Then you have the intramural fibroid, which grows inside a muscle, the main muscle of the uterus. Now, we also have another one that grows outside, or that projects outside the uterus, we call subserosal fibroid. Now, both the intramural fibroid and the subserosal type have the tendency to become pedunculated and hang out of the uterus. Fibroid, being a smooth muscle tumor of the uterus, like I said before, grows under the influence of hormones. Now, this hormonal interplay could be influenced by certain environmental factors. For example, factors that have to do with dietary, those factors could be dietary. Other environmental factors could be maybe because of certain things that are inhaled, from the air, which could affect the hormonal milieu, and as such affect the way the smooth muscles of the uterus behave or act or proliferate or renew themselves. These fibers, under the influence of these factors, would then develop certain qualities and start acting abnormally, leading to fibroid. It is being banded in some quarters by certain people that certain herbal preparations would shrink fibroids. But we're here now to debunk that rumor, to debunk that particular information piece. It's a form of disinformation. There are certain medications or herbal preparations that can actually target smooth muscles. And when those medications are injected into the body or taken inside the body through the gastrointestinal tract, they have the preponderance to get to the target tissue, which, like I said before, smooth muscles, and denature them. The denaturation could be at the level of the nucleus, at the level of nucleolus, at the level of the cytosol, at the level of the membrane. But all these preparations, what they do is to denature these muscles or these smooth muscles. Now, smooth muscles are found in various parts of the body. There are smooth muscles that are found in the gastrointestinal tract. Some are found around certain glandular tissues. Some are found in the uterus, like I said before. There are also other areas where smooth muscles exist in the body, performing various functions, even around the eyes, around other structures of the body. Now, even certain smooth muscles are found as sphincters, that is, acting around certain structures that open and close. It is when nerves act on these smooth muscles that they are able to close certain compartments or open them. Now, when these smooth muscle denaturers are taken in, they usually go to anywhere there is a smooth muscle in the body and start their process of denaturation. When those medications or herbal preparations are taken into the body, and especially the ones that target these smooth muscles, they go to, for example, the one that target the fibroid smooth muscles, go to the uterus and start destroying both the fibroid and the smooth muscles that make up the uterus itself. Now, these factors cannot differentiate between the fibroid, which is a compacted, bits or compacted formations of smooth muscles. They cannot differentiate between this fibroid and the other normal smooth muscles of the uterus. So what they do is that they go and destroy both of these structures. The problem arising from this particular situation is that the uterine smooth muscles are soft, while the fibroid tumor is a stacking of smooth muscles. Because of the stacking, they assume hard or kind of firmer structure, and this concentration makes them to sometimes they become calcified and become so strong. So when these drugs are taken or these medications are taken, the medication will actually go and destroy the smooth muscles, the normal smooth muscles of the uterus, and render it to look like a cooked meat. Most of the cases we have seen when we did surgical operations have displayed outright denaturation of the normal smooth muscles of the uterus. By the time you want to operate on this woman, you will discover that the uterus has been cooked totally and completely, looking almost like a jelly, whereas the fibroid are usually barely scratched. Now, all these things can lead to a lot of problems. Post-operatively in this woman, you discover that they are not the uterine muscle, the normal uterine muscles are not even able to contract back again. So those women risk postpartum hemorrhage. Besides postpartum hemorrhage, there are other problems like infertility, endometriosis, infection of the uterus, or other problems associated, or even what we call disseminated intravascular coagulation postoperatively in these women. It is because of this that we are trying to inform people as much as possible. Let this information go around. Let people be informed that all these shrinkers that are being bandied about, that are being sold everywhere on the open market, are deleterious to the health and life of our women. The people that are selling all these medications and making money off these women do not even know the complications associated with what they are doing. All they are interested is the money that they are making. It is therefore our responsibility to pass information to people, especially these women who are at the center of this commercial drive, to avoid taking all these things that go and shrink the so-called shrinkers of fibroid. Whenever you have any diagnosed fibroid in you, the best thing you have to do is to go and see your physician or your gynecologist, who will then advise you properly and appropriately on what has to be done. Relying on all the shelf market preparations that are being bandied about is only risking your health and your life. This information is for public consumption. Thank you all.